Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Aitx 0075. The dip is being bought. I told you guys a trend is very different from having to wait for the bottom. A trend, you want to position yourself either at the breakout or at the dip trend line. That's what I call it, the dip trend line. It dipped here, people step in. It dipped here at the higher low, people stepped in again, and here we are again. People are buying the dip. So as long as this trend stays intact, we're good. We're creating higher highs as well. The next higher high should see us break above 1 penny. I haven't bought back in yet. I did get stopped out at break even. Let's just say break even. A slight gain, like what, 30 something cents. After Schwab's commissions, I ended up with like 33 cents in gain. Ooh, but I'll be looking to buy back in, depending on how it closes today. But also, I'm going to keep an eye on how it opens tomorrow as well. We might see it still come back down a little bit more and test this trend line again. It did that here and here. We'll see. But buyers are stepping in big here. And as far as I'm concerned, the trend is still intact. Now we just wait and see what happens as it moves along this path here. But what we need now, and ideally, because we need momentum, we need PRs here, because they kind of stopped the PR machine. So we need some juicy PRs to come out, ideally within the next couple of days, because there haven't been any PRs for Aitx. It's been moving on its own just from the attention it's getting from Steve's videos, but there haven't been any official PRs dropped. There was a video that got dropped about Radar, I believe, the residential Radcam, but other than that, we need an actual catalyst. Big orders, yeah, people love big numbers on PRs. We need something. We need something to get people excited about this stock. Other than that, I just have to wait. Like the volume has been insane. I think we have what 300, almost 400 million in volume, which is already more than yesterday. I don't know what happened. There was a 1 minute candle that I saw that it just dropped. Where is it? There, yeah. I saw this like big drop here, and I was like, oh, okay. It tried to hold up here at 0091, but as soon as it broke that and it started dropping, I was like, okay, I guess I got stopped out like right here. So I was like, okay, whatever. And the buyers are stepping in at 0068 and under. So that is where your dip is. We'll see what happens. I look, we need that momentum. Those PRs, they're critical to getting people excited and buying up the stock and pushing it up higher. Without that, it's on its own, and who knows how low or how high it's gonna go. But the trend is still intact, so I got nothing bad to say regarding the charts. Let me switch to the monthly for a second here. How is the RSI? I have not looked at the RSI. The RSI was toasty. Yeah, it got nice and toasty yesterday, and today it pulled back. So if this is any indication, the last time we topped out right here, it was toasty, had a nice big pullback to the trend line, and then the next day was green. So you know what, based on that, let's see, we had a big red candle, then another red candle to follow. Oh man, it's a tough choice to make. Do I buy at the end of do I buy at the end of the day and maybe we get a nice green candle the next day, or do I wait and see if we get a second red candle, which would retest the trend line? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Do I wait and see if it tests 006 again? Do we get more selling pressure, or do I buy right now towards the end of the day at around 7s and see if it closes green the next day like it did here after this big drop? Again, people are stepping at the trend line, so we'll see. Maybe I'll set a limit order at 006. Man, where would I set it? I would have to set it at 006. See if it comes down that low, because this is where support is right here. The only problem with that is, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll set a limit order at 006 and see if I get full tomorrow. If not, then it is what it is. maybe I'll have to chase the break above 1 penny. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think I'm gonna buy today. I think I'll play it safer, but it's gonna depend entirely on how it closes. Other than that, the RSI cooling off makes sense. Every time we've peaked, we've had here we had 2 red days. Here we had one big red day, which was the equivalent of these two essentially, followed by buying pressure, and then it pulled back to the trend line again. So that's why I'm saying maybe I'll just set a limit order 006 and see if I can get filled there, because I don't want to chase now. I was lucky that I got stopped out above my buy-in point, so I didn't lose money. But still, I think the safe play, the FOMO play is to just buy right now, right? But the safe play is to set a limit order 006 and see if it comes down there, and keep an eye on it tomorrow. I think that's what's going through my head. I think that's like the safer way to go about it. I mean, I could just FOMO, I guess, but the one time I did, I almost, I'm lucky that I got stopped out where I got stopped out, and not on the big drop on that 1 minute candle. That's what I'm thinking. The MACD crossed over. We had a huge run up. Actually, the MACD, yeah, if the MACD crosses under, we're gonna get some more downside. So yeah, there's a lot to take into account, but today's cool off, not a big deal because buyers are stepping in. Hopefully, we get a PR. That we need some kind of something. Momentum needs to keep going with these juicy PRs. If not, I could see the stock just, I guess that's the end of it, and it just comes down. And then it'll pull back pretty big. There's a stock called OPTI, kind of like this. This thing was getting PRs out the butt, and people were getting excited. It had its run up, pulled back, had another one, and then it pulled back, and it just eventually just started dropping because nothing was happening with the stock. PRs are what move the stock. For those of you who don't know, that's headlines, PRs, whatever. That's what causes stocks to move. Without that, stocks just kind of move on their own, and you never know how it's going to move, especially because it is an OTC penny stock. Most penny stocks, when they don't have PRs coming out, this is what happens. You just keep dropping and dropping. You do have the occasional run-ups, and when you do have plenty of PRs and plenty of information getting out there, you have sideways action. You get a bottom. And then here for iList, there was a shareholder meeting, and they basically announced that they were pushing back the uplist, and then there was a huge sell-off, and then we just continued to dump. So when a company does follow through and continues that dropping PRs consistently, we see either a sideways action or an uptrend in this case. So like it's very important that we get something. That's about it. I don't think much else can be said here. I will be coming out with a video on Saturday talking about what PRs move the stock, Steve Reinhardt, and how he can move the stock based on his tweets, and why you should be following him on Twitter and having the notifications on, because he sometimes drops some juicy hints in the Discord or in the or he tweets something out that's really juicy and that can move the stock the next day. I just noticed this recently because I don't really I use Twitter, but not really. Like, it's kind of just there. I don't really use it like I should. But now that I know that he can move the stock based on his tweets and other things, that I'll talk about it in that video. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Buy the dip.